Hello everybody, I'm going to be sharing with you the story of when I shared my testimony in front of an entire audience and how that moment in my life came back to reflect on my personal growth. So now I can publicly announce acting on deeply held values rather than fear. So I've never really been somebody to come out to a crowd and tell them how I feel, especially so spontaneously like I did that day. It's really hard to express yourself vulnerably and personally to a group of people you haven't really talked to. Even if they're people that you sit down with once a week, every week, it's still hard to come out of your shell and talk to them, especially when you're on a stage and like everybody's looking at you. It's not like this. I'm talking to you, but there's nobody on the other side, so it's a lot more complicated. Talking in front of a big group of people is difficult, no matter how long you've known them. Just expressing yourself in general is really hard, and coming out to a whole bunch of people about your experiences can be harder. So this started for me when I was sitting in service, and I'm not necessarily a member of this church. It's a Mormon church that I attend, and I'm Christian, but I started attending this church because I wanted to spend the night with one of my friends. And in order to spend the night with her, it was a weekend, her mother said that I would have to go to church with them in the morning, and I was like, okay, that's fine. I hadn't been to church in a really long time, and I love the church, and I was like, whatever, I'm just gonna be learning about like Father God. And despite what you believe in, I hope this speech touches you at least a little bit, just in order to freely express yourself. But I was sitting down and listening to people's testimonies, and there was a moment where nobody was really going up, so it was just kind of like a standstill. It was a little awkward, but I was like, why am I judging them for not going up when I'm not going up myself? And I was thinking about how the lady that I go with, my friend's mom, we go together every Sunday now. We have for the past couple of years, but we've taken breaks here and then. Anyway, we were sitting down, and I was like, she's gone up there once before. It's been a while, but she's gone up there. Why have I never gone up there? I could totally go up there right now. And I was like hyping myself up in my head. I was like, I'm gonna do this. And then other people were starting to go up there finally, but I was like, I need to do this. I want to tell these people why I'm here if I'm not even a part of your religion. And so I sat up there and I waited for my turn, and I was sitting up there like, yeah, I got this. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do this. Just like that. That was my attitude. I was really like cocky about it in my head. But in reality, I was sitting there like this, listening to them talk, and it was really scary. And it was scarier when I went up there, because the second my feet hit that stage, I started shaking. My hands were shaking, my voice was trembling, and I'd forgotten everything that I wanted to say, but I was already up there. And what am I going to do, turn back around? No, I was up there completely unprepared. And I shared with them why I was there and why I thought it was so important to be there. And sorry about that, excuse me. But no, I shared with them why I thought it was so important that I was up there standing and talking to them, especially considering I wasn't even a member. And I just talked, and the words started flowing freely, and though I was still shaking and scared to death, I did it. And that's really what I took from that coming back down. I didn't make eye contact with anyone when I left like the stage or the podium. I immediately went back to my seat, and my friend's mom, she looks at me and she doesn't say anything. She just sits there smiling. And because I didn't tell anybody I was gonna go up there and do it, I just did it. It was like complete adrenaline. I was just like, I'm gonna do this, and then I did it, I did it. Sometimes personal growth often requires that stepping out of your comfort zone and acting on conviction rather than fear. Standing up and speaking despite that fear was my turning point. Being able to just stand up and go for it, that's what helped me get out of my like, I'm scared, guys, help me. I've been in theater. I've had experiences where I've been in front of big crowds and I've had to sit there and talk to them, you know, not like to them, but like to like the different characters around me. I just had to sit there and like talk to them and like act it out, and I was like all jolly, all happy, and or angry. I was a little angry. I had a script and I knew what I was going to say, and that didn't like, it was fine for me to be up there because I knew what I had to say. I knew what I was going to be like talking about and, you know, acting like a total. It was a lot easier for me because I already knew what I was going to talk about. Then I had no clue. I had no idea what I was going to be like discussing. I had a little idea in my head, and I went up there, I cried internally, and I told them how I felt, and I left with my head held down. Just kidding. Not really. Anyway, I feel like you guys could relate to this because like everybody has like a little speckle or seed of fear of public speaking and going up into crowds and be like, this is what I think, let me tell you, listen to me. Everybody has like a little bit, but if you're that, like, what if they don't agree with you? And some probably won't agree with you, and that's okay. That's okay. It's just like that challenge of expressing yourselves openly, and it's about growth even beyond a religious setting.
But later, how do I improve my public speaking?
Harvard actually has a few tips and tricks that we can learn from. I first want to start out by saying nervousness is totally normal. Heart pounding, trembling hands. You don't have to associate that with poor performance. Some nerves are good. Think of it like an adrenaline rush. You're only human. Things are gonna happen to you. You're gonna shake a little bit, and that's okay. You might not shake a little bit, and that's completely okay too. You have to also know your audience. Know who you're like speaking to, much like how I was at church sharing my testimony. Know what drives them and what will make them want to listen to you. Also, don't be shy to show your personality. Be yourself. The audience wants to see you speak, not just some standing head sitting there talking to them and not moving at all and just kind of standing there like this, and then that's really boring, isn't it? Yeah. Be in the moment and be yourself and speak from your heart. The audience wants to see you as a real person. Use your voice and hands effectively, and humor, tell stories. Build that connection. Imagine there's like a little string coming from me to you. Like that. Now we're connected. Interlinked.
I don't have to be fearless?
No, practice doesn't make perfect. Good communication is never perfect, little guy. Nobody expects it to be. When I stood up in church that day, I wasn't rehearsed at all. My hand shook, my voice wasn't steady, but what mattered wasn't perfection, it was sincerity. I spoke because it meant something to me, and that meaning carried the message further than a polished delivery could for me, even though I clearly was just reading off my paper and that was polished. Precise. But, you know, that's okay too. You can literally just have your index cards on hand, speak your truth, queen or king or whatever. Public speaking isn't about eliminating fear, it's about choosing to speak anyway. So in today's video, I want to remind you that public speaking isn't about perfection, it's about courage. Growth comes the moment you stop waiting and feel ready.